Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I had lots of family in and out, and that's always good.
Was Mr. Bart there?
Mr. Bart came and went.
Came and went. Busy guy, isn't he?
He is a busy guy, but I'm just grateful whenever.
Your grandson here?
No, he's on a cliff in Utah.
On a cliff?
He climbs. That's what he does in his spare time, or that's his
Good for him.
outside activity. He's
Good
a
for
climber.
him.
And he's in school and working, but climbing is
Doing what young folks do.
what
Spreading
they
their
need
wings.
to do, right?
Hope he can fly.
Exactly.
Particularly if he falls.
It kind of scares me. He rides a motorcycle to work, and he doesn't have a car because he can't afford it yet, and but that's life.
Shoot, yeah. And he lives where? Arizona?
In St. Martin, I believe, Arizona. Yeah.
Well, it's probably
Not Arizona, Utah. He's in
Utah. He's in Utah. Well, it
It's
depends on where he lives. He doesn't need a car there
It's
anyway.
beautiful scenery. It's amazing. I get pictures, and it's really
And you know something
pretty
else about
place.
Utah? When I was out there, I was doing a job for 7-Eleven stores, and I was in Utah. And we went to a sort of like a South Jackson place, except
Yeah.
it was a city park outside of what is it, where all the books are of the
I'm not sure what
I
you're
don't
talking
know,
about.
all these books. It'll come to me. And there was this. It was like a bowl, except it was grass. You know, it was a little sort of a valley,
Right.
and there was a cave in the back, and a little creek came through there, and so that was a city park. And when they had entertainment, people would just sit on these grass banks, and there could be 5,000 people there. And so we went out to watch this concert, an incredible concert, and all of a sudden I realized there were no bugs.
That's what Kathy says. It's very clean, and
There are no bugs. You're sitting in grass. There's no ants. There's no bugs. There's no mosquitoes. There's nothing flying in the air
that's a
to
wonderful
bother you. No
thing,
flies.
Yeah. It must not be around lakes. Or
Salt Lake
creeks.
City. Salt Lake City. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was just wonderful out there.
It's beautiful. It really
It's
is.
very lovely. Very lovely.
Anyway, can
What'd
I tell
you
you
do?
what's going
What'd you
on?
do? Kept up with them?
I just to sit back and let it happen.
Let it let it roll. Well, this
I
weekend
tried to stay out of control. I mean, just let somebody else control my movements.
we were on the road hot and heavy this weekend. This weekend, Saturday was Fran's birthday, and so we did a lot of things. We covered a lot of territory.
Great.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and
So you just got on the road and stayed on the road.
well, we were in Murfreesboro, and we were in. Oh, I'll tell you what we did Friday night, and you'll love this. But John Cook and the Cookie Time Players were over at Sonny's
Oh, my.
in Deckard.
I know that was
And we
fun.
went Kyle Copeland and Bailey and David Bethay,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just wonderful. And I told Sonny, who owns that place, and if you've not been to Sonny's, you need to go to Sonny's, because I told him, I said, coming in here and listening to this music is as cleansing as a steaming hot bath after a hard day's work.
That was quite a compliment.
Because when you walk in there, it's just chill.
Yeah.
That is one of the chillest places. And if you have anything that you're upset about, it just seems like everything just washes away in there.
Good.
Everybody's in a good mood. The music is outstanding, and the food is good. And if you haven't been to Sonny's in Deckard, downtown Deckard, go to Sonny's. It's worth the trip.
And he's a really nice guy.
Nice man.
Yes,
Very
he is.
nice man.
Loves jazz.
Loves jazz, and so we listened to some jazz. We listened to a college graduation or high school graduation recital, piano recital in Murfreesboro on Sunday.
Good.
You know, I never would have thought I would have said that, that
you
I
liked
was
it?
at a piano recital on Sunday afternoon. But a young lady, a wonderful young lady,
Did her senior recital maybe?
it was her
it?
senior
Yeah.
recital, but it wasn't, you know, the teacher had a recital where everybody came and recited. She wanted her own, and she picked her own music and did it an hour
Good for her.
by herself. And Ava Jolly, it's my son Jacob married Cindy Jolly, the Jolly family from over in Deckard, Tennessee, and they're all music
There's a lot
people.
of music in that family.
Her brother Terry, who's this young lady's father, has worked with MTSU and written stuff for the band, the marching band, and works at a church over
I'm
there.
sure she's getting a big scholarship for college.
Yes, she did, and she's going to I can't remember the name of it, but it's a smaller kind of unique music college up in Michigan,
Oh,
up above Detroit, I think. So I told her
long
I'm
way
gonna
from
I'm gonna give her a toboggan for a graduation present. But it was just delightful. We had a lot of good food and good fun, and we just got in the car and rode and talked, and
good. And Fran had a happy birthday.
Fran was pleased. She asked for time to study her Sunday school lesson. It was one of the presents she wanted. Leave me alone, which was easy for me. That was an easy present for me to give her. Some of the rest of them, it wasn't quite so
Yeah.
easy, but
Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I had a good time just being quiet, and I know that my son drives 10 hours to get to my house, and so he roasted some too. We just
Yeah.
were quiet, and that was peaceful to me.
yeah, good.
Can I tell that we have
Tell.
some
What?
stuff coming up at the Civic
Go,
Center?
tell it.
I'll make it quick. There's
Go tell it on the mound.
this weekend, country music auditions, Sunday at 2 o'clock and Monday at 6. And you can audition by going online and getting all this information. You just go to the Civic Center and auditions, and there'll be,
For the country show, 44?
yes, 44.
44th annual.
A friend of mine sent me a program from the first one, and it was 1984. So does that work out? 44, 84, 94? I think it's 44. I don't keep up with it that good. But anyway, we hope that everybody will come out and have fun and get on the show.
Yeah.
We have some good,
Sounds good.
good commercials coming up, and
How did the international dancers go?
we haven't had it yet.
Oh,
The international dancers are 1 week from tonight.
okay. For some reason, I had that in my mind. That was last week, and Fran kept telling me no.
There's a lot going on, and when you pass our sign, there's so many things going on. I don't know if you can even see it sometimes, but it's a beautiful sign.
Pull over and watch.
Right, you have to pull over to see what's going on. The gala is June the 3rd,
Mm-hmm.
which is next week, I hope. It's not this week, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, well,
Wait a minute.
yeah,
Yes,
it's this
it is.
week.
It's this week because
It's this week, 'cause this is
we're
the-
going into June.
Yeah, right now.
So it's Saturday night, and we hope people go out for that. And there's gambling and all that, and good music,
Good band, yeah.
wonderful food. So that's a nice thing. And then the folk dancers are coming on Tuesday night, a week from tonight. Starts at 7 o'clock. We're only charging $5 because we want anybody and everybody to come. And we want to honor these people that are coming from so far by having an audience. And they're from France, Mexico, Poland, and the United States. And that's kind of just now what's happening. I'm just going to leave it alone right there.
Gonna leave it alone,
I'm gonna
and
leave it alone.
kids are out of school. So, pay attention. When you're driving around, don't hot rod like you might have been doing, because you don't think there's kids anywhere, because they're going to be on the roller skates and skateboards and bicycles and walking, and
Oh, yeah.
the swimming pool's open and
Lots of
Splash
stuff going
Island,
on.
and there's so pay attention.
And by the way, thank you for the decorations today. Memorial Day
Yesterday was a
was
Memorial Day.
yesterday,
Sure
and
was.
did you watch the program, the national program from DC?
I watched part of it, yeah.
It was very touching. I always watch that. My flag was at a half mast, and I'm very serious about Memorial Day. There's a lot to be thankful for.
Yes, there is.
We are standing on the backs of many dead men and many people that go to the military.
That's
to
right.
serve this country.
No doubt about
All right,
that.
read your piece.
No.
Didn't you have a
I'm
piece
at
to read?
peace. I'm at
Are you
peace.
at peace?
I'm at peace. There's a couple of things I want to, just looking, I found some stuff that I thought, it's not the name, the clubs, the clothes, the friends, the cars, or the places you go. It's not who you are, but what you do that defines you. Mind more engaged than usual? Uncommon stimulation creates a buzz? There's edgy excitement and a hint of danger in conversation with a stranger.
Absolutely.
It's one of the best things
That's
you can
a good
do for
one,
your brain
is to talk to a
stranger, because you don't know, you've got to think. When you're talking to your friends, you know how to, you know, you can zone out, zone in and out. You gotta pay attention to a stranger. And you know, golf is being played in the majors and all this stuff's going on. And I wrote this one time after I'd watched the Masters. I have last year's driver, last year's car too. Never played Augusta. My shirt's the wrong color of blue. Just an acquaintance, not a pal. So when I step into the steam, I'm handed an old towel.
That's good. Ralph loved golf.
So yeah.
He was a great
Hey,
golfer.
whether you throw a ball or a strike, someone will be happy and someone will not. For the excitement to continue, the game must as well. So keep on pitching. So keep on pitching. We'll be right back after these messages. We're going to pitch our sponsors.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, Then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman.
I am Pat Welch, and John, we're here today for segment 74 of the Conversation with John and Pat.
Pat, I've never done this song publicly because I never thought I could remember all the words.
John, when you get down to 74, it's time to get into some of this.
Ray Noah's requested this one time when we were playing music for an organization, and I said, Ray, I'm sorry, we've never done this song before. He likes it, though, and I like it. I just hope I remember the words.
Well, hopefully our viewership will like it.
This is where Mr. Osteen came from, Caney Springs. Well, I was walking down the road from my grandma's house to the Caney Springs General Store. I held my head up high, a better than thou, look a know-it-all city boy. I was staying all night with Grandma, a real Dragon A1 bore. But I was happy when she told me to run a little errand to the Caney Springs General Store. At the corner of the store, men was pitching horseshoes, having a hot contest. I walked up proud, sizing up the crowd, and I could tell that I was the best. I spied a country boy eating sardines and crackers, sitting on a dusty car hood. I said, you want to play a game? And he said, I guess so, but let me warn you, I'm not too good. Well, we found us a pit and played a practice round, and old country couldn't find the range. I felt Granny's grocery money jingling in my pocket, so I challenged him my $1 game. He said, I can play 3 games, but then I gotta go. I should have been home by now. I thought to myself, you be wishing you was when I get through cleaning your plow. Well, we played for real, and it was easy pickings, cause I skunked him 11-0. I got greedy all over as he handed me $1, and the crowd began to grow. And the second game was just like the first. I skunked old country again. He said I might as well just lose it all, unless you and I play for a 10. I said, okay, country, as he aimed through his shoe and stepped forward with a dead-eye throw. I saw some old men kind of punching each other like they knew something I didn't know. He threw 3 straight ringers and a 3-point leaner before I could even turn around. I knew Caney Springs loved the circus, and they appointed me the clown. Well, I left the store and I could hear them laughing, not a grocery to my name. Granny met me on the front porch steps, and you should have heard me explain. I told her about old country boy and how he laid a perfect trap. She said, you fool, you've been taken in by the Caney Springs General Store champ. Well, it wasn't perfect, but I got through it.
John, I don't know if I've ever clapped before, but that's the first time I've heard that song too. I almost felt like an urge to get to my feet.
I've always been a coward to try that song too many times.
That was good. Have we gone over the Caney Springs attributes before? I think we talking about Coach Osteen being from there. Well, you took me over there one day, and there's more rock visible on the ground than there is ground, and they farm that.
They say there's 2 rock for every dirt.
That would put it at 66.6%.
Mr. Osteen was raised over there, and he was raised in a rugged area. You know, it's rugged. They're primitive.
I believe you could find a fine football team with inhabitants of the area. If you're going to farm there, you're going to have to be tough.
You would recognize today, though, houses being built over there. It's near
It'd be a firm foundation.
Yeah. We're talking about a relative of mine today. His name is Landon Haynes. He was named, I think, for some senator or someone back in the past. I didn't look him up to find out what he was known for, but he was named for someone famous in politics.
John, let me interject real quick. Now, is Haynes your mother's side or your
That's
father's side?
That's my daddy's side.
Okay.
My grandmother was a Haynes, and Landon's daddy was my grandmother's brother.
Okay.
Or sister. Well, whatever I say, I can't remember how I put it there. But I want to put up our first picture there, Philip, if you will. That's Landon right there, and Landon wasn't original. Now, he just was somebody, you know, education can spoil somebody's originality. I don't think Landon ever got spoiled. And he was
double sure he wasn't.
He was a smart guy. Now, don't get me wrong. Now he's dancing at a political rally. He liked to dance. He and his wife they went to dances and that sort of thing. And Landon was married to Faye. I used to work on their farm, and she would feed you so much, much good food, vegetables and meat, and just wonderful food. You couldn't hardly bend over in the afternoon, you know, to pick up a hay bale or whatever it was. And go to the next picture there. Now that's a young John Rickman there, second to the left, and Landon's there. And do you
John, that's Comstock on the right, isn't it?
Yeah.
And is that Jimmy to the left?
Jimmy's to the left.
Wow, I don't know if I've ever seen him with that much hair.
Let me show you. Now, this was at some sort of political rally in Lewisburg, and you see those suits that we're wearing? We got those at Jimmy Phillips' store here in Tullahoma. Jimmy one time had us play for a block party up in Tullahoma. He said, "John, I have no money for you, but I can get you some outfits." You know, he had Clyde Phillips men's store, and so we wore those as long as, you know, they fit us. and that was the outfits. They had a vest to them. It was very nice, and Jimmy did us right. You know, we would have paid a lot of money for that.
John, that picture of you, that's not taken too far from the time period that I've described, where you could have been a cast member of Beach Bank Bingo.
Yeah. It was a different time there, Pat, and it's, you know, it was a good time, and I'm still there, Pat.
Oh yeah,
I'm still there.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure what movie you'd be cast in now, but
Landon was a painter by trade, farmer and painter, and he wrote this book, Through My Eyes, A Painter's Diary, and this is from 1950 to 1964. He talked about every place that he went to paint from that time, and he was a good painter. I painted for him one time, and I helped shingle a house one time, put shingles on a house, and but I remember how particular he was about painting. If he wanted you to hold the brush like this, he said, people that don't know what they're doing hold them like this. He said, you got to hold them like an artist.
Here we go.
But anyway, in this book, he writes a lot of things about people, and he didn't spare any feelings. You know, he said here, this was in 19, what is it there? I don't know the exact date, but he painted the Unionville Methodist Church, finishing floors. He was a floor finisher. First time I worked in a church and got drunk. Yes, got drunk on lacquer fumes. Almost passed on to another world.
Well, if the church isn't ventilated, as much hardwood's got in there, that could happen.
This is from a Mr. Robert Burroughs. He was a laborer there. Edward Collins built Robert's house. Robert's wife was Mr. Wiley Clanton's girl. I had some trouble with some drunks on the job. My two brothers used to work for me.
With the emphasis on the term used.
Yeah. And then he paints for a lawyer over in Lewisburg. He was a bad one. I thought every time I had to be in court, he was on the opposite side of me. He was the most money-hungry lawyer I ever saw. I didn't mention his name.
Good for you.
Somebody might be listening. Now this is Aunt Polly. That was my grandmother. Her name was really Mary, but Polly was what a lot of people call it. This woman did more for me than most people. Aunt Polly taught in Una and Chapel Hill. My hometown bootlegger said she had whipped him. He goes through, I mean, stuff all through here. Now, his daughter typed all this up. Aunt Polly, again, Aunt Polly, my favorite aunt. She clothed me until I was old enough to buy my own clothes. I never had such a good friend as she.
John, are we headed to the point where he danced with Rosalind Carter at some point, didn't he?
Yeah. Go
Jimmy
to that
Carter's
next
wife.
picture. Maybe we'll find it.
I hope I hadn't.
My sequence. Oh, there it is, Pat.
Is that not incredible?
That was in the Washington Post. Landon went up to Miss Carter and said, Miss Carter.
Well, what was he went, just decided, I'm going to the inauguration?
No, well, they were at Murfreesboro at the Oaklands. Oakland's over there at Murfreesboro.
Okay.
And he went up, Miss Carter and I guess President Carter were there doing some politicking, you know, and Landon went up to Miss Carter. They were playing music, and he said, Miss Carter, may I have the honor of this dance with you? Certainly you may. And they danced, and this went out all over the world, Pat, all over the world.
I understand, but it doesn't surprise me coming from the Rickman family.
Well, you know, you see that hat on his head? It's sort of set on there in a little
noble
way.
Noble
I guess
placement.
that's a good way to say
correct.
that. And then Miss Carter had written him a letter about that. And that picture right there was in a frame, and it stayed on the dash of his truck. And whenever he wanted to make a conversation with someone, you know, about him, this is a picture of me and Miss Carter dancing. You know. He says, this was December 16th, 1983. Once I was painting a house in Chapel Hill. There was a young lady sunbathing next door. It was a healing sight to a man. The man I was painting for accused me of painting that side of the house 3 times, but I think I just painted it twice.
John, you've got some colorful members of your family.
Yeah.
Now, I know that one of his ancestors, you had a Columbus Haynes.
Yeah.
He was a colonel and fought in the Civil War and took a mini ball through the nostril and survived. Would those two be your leading colorful figures in the Haynes family?
I suppose.
Okay.
I suppose. I think so.
I would ask that at some point we have a show on Columbus too.
Let me say this about Landon. He was quick to tell anybody. His phone, the United Telephone System down at Chapel Hill, the manager lived in town there. And Landon's phone had been out for a couple, 3 weeks, and he'd called up there. Will y'all get this phone fixed? So one morning, he knocks on Mr. Billy Wilson's door early in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, and said, Mr. Wilson, do you mind if I use your phone? You know mine hadn't been working, and I just need to make a real important call. And Mr. Wilson said, boys, I don't care what you do today, you get that phone fixed. So show the picture of the newspaper. Sad, but Landon died in a house fire. There was a lightning strike on the house, and he died at the back door. They said he was putting on his clothes to get out of the house, and probably if he had just gone on out, and you know, but he lingered too long in the house, and he died at 83 years of age.
Was his wife still alive then, John?
Yeah.
Did she make it out?
No, she wasn't. She had died a couple of years before that. But anyway, we kind of recognized Landon Haynes, who was a colorful figure and worked hard, came from a poor family, but in many ways rose above that situation in his life. Thank you so much.
And that, my friends, wraps up segment 74, but it's not the last, we hope, because there's stories to go if management will allow. Thank you all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Baby, you see, I cannot set you free. My you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. A throwaway bottle or pop top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. Growing, getting bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash jogging up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Okay, hey Peggy, you know, we're getting ready to show some of the video that we took last Friday over at the Veterans Park.
That was really
for Memorial
really
Day
a nice
celebration
service.
and the adding of the new bricks to the walkway. And this is a piece I wrote in 2000, 23 years ago. And it's about what these veterans have given to us in a way, because without them, this, you know, you couldn't read this.
Right.
Okay? It's called Take All I Can Get. I was standing at a don't walk light when I heard two guys converse. One was fed up with it all, the other one was worse. The boss, the job, the wife, the kids, the bills, oh Lord, the stress. How could a gift so beautiful end up in such a mess? As walk flashed, I went on my way and left the boys behind, realizing that for each of us, one day there comes a time to filter through the chaos put in place by other men and find a few simple rules to take you to the end. I'm too old for first impressions to be the only guiding light. I'm too young to sit on laurels that I didn't help to write. I want to feel the sun shining on my face, eat bacon and eggs in an unfamiliar place, contribute something to the games I haven't played as yet, So I guess I'll grab life by the ears and take all I can get. I won't accept the labels put on others by man. Won't look down on anyone with dirty, calloused hands. I'll search for inspiration that ends up in a song and try to hear that little voice that tells me right from wrong. 'Cause I'm too old for first impressions to be the only guiding light, too young to sit on laurels that I didn't help to write. I want to feel the sun shining on my face and eat bacon and eggs in an unfamiliar place. Contribute something to the games I haven't played as yet. So I guess I'll grab life by the ears and take all I can get. Yeah, no matter what else happens, there's one thing you can bet. I'm going to grab life by the ears and take all I can get. And I can do that because of the sacrifice of the people who have walked the wall for our freedom.
Our promise to never forget and our promise to always remember to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice and those who have given their lives to secure our nation's freedom. That's what we're here about today. These are the freedoms that we enjoy today. So Memorial Day is one of the most solemn days for our remembrance of any of our nation's holidays. So we gather today to pay tribute to those who have served in the military, particularly those brave men and women who have died, and to reflect upon the enormity of their sacrifice. So on behalf of Tullahoma's 20,339 residents, I give my thanks and respect to those families who have given their lives for the freedom and appreciate their sacrifice as well as that of their loved ones. So now please stand, as we all are, for the presentation of the colors. That'll be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. So with that, presentation of the colors.
Flag detail, post. Yeah.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Order. Oh. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Howard Thompson. Mr. Thompson is a Coffee County native. He graduated from MTSU with a Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics. Shortly after graduation, he joined the Army. Sooner than he expected, he found himself in Vietnam. He was the commanding officer of an engineering unit during the Tet Offensive in 19 68, 78. Well, you remember it. So, on his return to the States, he and his wife, Pat, opened Thompson Jewelers in 1971. They continue to serve the public well and are located in Tullahoma, North Jackson Street. Mr. Thompson has won many top awards for his jewelry design and is actively and is able to join the Retail Jewelers organization. In addition to his business career, Mr. Thompson is actively involved in veteran affairs. He is past commander of the VFW Post 10904 and received the Cooper T. Holt Award as Outstanding VFW member in Tennessee. He is now quartermaster for the same VFW post, and it is an All-American post for 5 consecutive years. Howard is a member of the American Legion Gold Star Post 78, was presented the Tennessee Governor's Volunteer Star Award in 2020. He is the commander of Disabled American Veterans, Chapter 90, Coffee County, is an executive committee member of the Department of Tennessee Disabled American Veterans. And Mr. Thompson is chairman of the Coffee County Veterans Association. Just a personal note, you don't have to talk to Howard Thompson very long until you know that he loves his country, he's proud to be a veteran, and he cares for our veterans. And so now we're pleased to have him come forward.
Distinguished guest, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here this morning. Edward Everett Hale graduated from Harvard at the age of 17. Someone said his mind was like a library filled with fine books. They would probably think mine is like a shoebox full of Post-it notes. But one of those notes is a quotation from Mr. Hale. I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do that something that I can do. I feel so very privileged to have this opportunity to do even the smallest thing, to honor those who have done so much, have accomplished and given so much to our nation and our way of life. Thank you for Ms. Sebring for letting me have this opportunity, and thank all of you for coming here today. We've gathered in a special place. Some of us are standing on the bricks. They're special bricks, and that's a good thing. They are engraved with the names of some, but unfortunately not all, of our veterans. Over here, there's a monument with an eagle on top of it. I think it was put there by Boy Scout, probably for an Eagle project. I don't know. It's right there by your hand, lady. On that is engraved a simple phrase: all gave some gave all. Most of our veterans gave at least 2 years of their life, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in the prime of their lives, in their late teens or early 20s. That's a big deal. That's a lot to give. And we honor them on Veterans Day, November the 11th, because all gave some. Next Monday is Memorial Day for most of the country. We got an early start on it this year, and that's good. This day is set aside to remember and honor those few, those special few that gave all. They gave everything they had and more. They gave their lives to establish, protect, and defend our nation, our way of life, the principles for which we stand. I would like to tell you the extraordinary story of just one of those. His name was David Robert Ray. Everybody in high school called him Bobby. He was very tall. He would be 6'6" by the time he graduated from McMinnville City High School. But he didn't play on our basketball team or the football team, as one might expect. He played the trombone in the band for 4 years. He was in the forensic club, the drama club. Bobby was smart, popular, active in many other school activities. And he had 2 close friends. One of them was Tommy Vickers, who would later play an important part in his life. After high school, he received an associate degree from Cumberland University. But early in 1966, Bobby Ray and Tommy Vickers decided they wanted a career in medicine. Bobby wanted to become a doctor, and on March the 28th, 1968, he joined the Navy to be a hospital corpsman. After extensive training and service on board a hospital ship, Bobby accomplished the first step on his goal. In May of 1968, Bob, as his friends now called him, requested a tour of duty with the Fleet Marine Force. It took raw courage and patriotism for anyone to volunteer for a job that would almost guarantee him a tour in Vietnam. The date is significant. It was just after the largest battle in Vietnam, the Tet Offensive. A biased national press somehow portrayed a complete military victory for the United States as a defeat. Protesters were in the streets marching up and down, chanting, "Hell no, we won't go," and hey, LBJ, how many kids are you going to kill today? Anti-war dialogue from movie stars like Jane Fonda headlined the nightly news almost every night. In 1968, veterans returning from Vietnam were not even welcome in some of their American Legion or VFW posts. Bobby Ray had to be aware of all of this, but he still volunteered. After more intensive training, a Fleet Marine Force Hospital Corpsman was his title. He arrived in South Vietnam on July the 12th, 1968, and was assigned as senior corpsman to a Marine artillery battery at Fire Sport Base Phu Loc 6 on a hill near Liberty Bridge. Bob soon won the respect of the Marines that he treated, and they now called him Doc Ray. Those he cared for at Phu Loc 6 who needed further treatment would be sent to Da Nang Hospital, 18 miles northeast. As a twist of fate, Tommy Vickers, his old high school classmate, was working there at Da Nang Hospital as an operating room technician. During the early morning hours of March 1969, Doc Ray's position at Phu Loc 6 and the nearby Marine Command Post was attacked by an estimated battalion-sized force. The attack began with a barrage of rocket and mortar fire. As the barrage lifted, enemy troops advanced, supported by a hail of automatic weapons fire. Forces are taught to take cover and concealment. Doc Ray abandoned both. He moved from parapet to parapet, rendering aid. Although wounded himself, he refused aid from the other corpsmen and continued his efforts. While attending to another casualty, he was attacked by 2 enemy soldiers. He killed one and wounded the other. He was rapidly losing strength as a result of his own severe wounds. But despite the intense enemy fire, he continued to move among the wounded, giving life-saving aid. We do not know how many he treated, but he saved the life of 7 young Marines that day. He held off the enemy until he ran out of ammunition, at which time he was shot again. His final act of heroism was to protect the Marine that he was treating with his own body as a grenade landed nearby. He saved the man's life, but Doc Ray did not survive. For conspicuous gallantry at the risk of his life, above and beyond the call of duty, David Robert Ray would receive the Medal of Honor. He was 24 years old. Casualties from the battle at Phu Loc 6 arrived at the hospital at Da Nang, where Tommy Vickers was on duty. Tommy's shift had ended at 2:30, but he was called back at 6:30 because 6 choppers came in with wounded. From the wounded Marines that Bob had patched up, Tommy learned that Bob had been hit. He continued to give aid and was hit again, and nobody knew anything more. In a letter he wrote to his parents, Tommy told them that the first thing he did was go to triage and look for his friend. When he could not find Bob, he started to ask about him, and he finally found a Marine who had fixed up his arm, and he started to cry. He told Tommy, quote, "Gooks were all over them, plus rockets and mortars thick as flies." Tommy wrote, "When this kid told me what happened, I couldn't work. All I could do was just sit and stare." Bobby's mom, dad, and sister would never see their son and brother become Dr. Robert Ray and experience the joys of their birthdays, their children's birthdays, their first day at school, their graduation, family vacations, other special occasions. One of his children will not receive a scholarship today. This is the price that Bobby paid. He gave all. I hear the train a-coming. Bear with me, we'll see if we can beat it. Here is the flag of the United States of America. What do you see when you look at it? Do you feel anything? Does it trigger anything? Does it unlock any memories, any emotions? Does it cause you to think? Does it make you aware of your freedoms? Does it remind you that you're citizens of the United States? Does it make you proud to be here? Does it cause you to remember all gave some and some gave all? Regardless of what we think or what we fail to think, it represents our nation. It's a symbol of our country, our way of life, our freedoms. The United States is the only nation in the history of the world to be voted to be independent of another nation. Not because they wanted to be independent, but because they wanted to be free and equal as British subjects. The second sentence of the Declaration of Independence states, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." Our nation was the only nation in the world to ever be founded on these truths. It's one of the most important sentences ever written in the English language. But it did not give a single person life, liberty, nor the pursuit of happiness. Our freedom was not declared. It was not free. It was won by the blood, sweat, and tears of men and women from the Minutemen of 1775 to the present day forces deployed around the world who were willing to die to win it and to preserve it. We have gathered here today to remember and honor those who did, like Bobby Ray. Is it too much to ask that they be remembered, respected, even revered? Some gave all. No one could do more. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
This lady first came into our lives, Rocky Bernard and myself, back in 2019 when she came to deliver about 15 filled out forms of her. I think she knows everybody in 3 counties at least. And so we were like, wow, this is great. Well, she's not ever stopped. Every time we have a installation, Shirley comes to my house with the forms, with the money. She has remembered everybody she knows that is a veteran. She has tracked them down. She has convinced them that they should do this. She's taken them a form. She's picked it up. She's delivered it to me, and sometimes she's paid for it. And so, Shirley, about a year ago, you asked me for a picture of the memorial, and I said, oh yeah, I'll get you one. Well, that was about a year ago. And so I just want you to have this.
Thank you so much.
I think you've probably got a place for it.
Thank you so much.
And you're so welcome.
And I have more work to do. You have more bricks available, so I have more work to do.
Thank you. Everybody should have a helper like Shirley, that's for sure.
Thank you.
And now, if our scholarship recipients will come forward, we would like to meet them. The sale of the pavers gives us money for scholarships, and that is, when I say us, I'm talking about the Shady Grove Garden Club. And Gay, where are you? Gay, please come up here. We have a committee of 4. 2 of them are on vacation. So, Gay and I are home. And so we get their applications, we go through all of their accomplishments, we meet them, we interview them. We are so impressed with these young people. And so we want you to meet them. And I first will start with Macy Fletcher, and she'll tell us a little bit about herself.
Hi. My name is Macy Fletcher, and I just graduated from Moore County High School. I plan on attending MTSU in the fall and majoring in nursing. I would like to thank the kind women that chose me for the scholarship. I appreciate it so much. I'm honored to represent my family members that have served our country by accepting the Veterans Memorial Scholarship. Again, thank you so much for the scholarship. It will help me tremendously throughout my college education.
And Zaylin Spinner.
Hi, my name's Zaylin Spinner. I just graduated from Tullahoma High School a couple of weeks ago. I plan on attending MTSU as well in the fall, but I plan on double majoring in animal science and general science to cover all my pre-veterinary prerequisites to be able to go to veterinarian school. I also want to thank you guys. I appreciate it a ton. It's so helpful, especially since I'm a first generational college student. It's definitely helpful, and thank you to all the veterans. It's a great opportunity, and it's allowed me to learn so much more about this town's history. So just thank you.
And we will close our service with Justin Sells, who was one of last year's recipients. He will play taps, and that will be the end of our service. Thank you for coming.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with disodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and thank you, Sandy Seaburn and that group
Yes.
for what they do over at Veterans Park, and it's a wonderful thing, and they've done a great job there. Now we're going to go to South Jackson Civic Center
To the courtyard.
to Lee Gibson, who brought his bunch from Nashville in this past
And that was
weekend
Friday night.
to put on a show.
Yeah. and
So
I
let's
know it
go to
was
South
fabulous.
Jackson Civic Center.
Tell me, Discover Steve, was the wheel and the steel that caused this pain? Pay the cost, cruel world. I don't know.
My name is Ringo, here at Barkview Senior Living. They're human-friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. A Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how's sketches? Ready? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You didn't turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here to share some good old Tullahoma history with everyone. And today's topic will be on railroading. Tullahoma, of course, was a railroad town, and 150 years ago, they started building the railroad between Nashville and Chattanooga, the Nashville and Chattanooga Railroad, and they completed it about 1855, and then they continued to build the branch line from Tullahoma to Manchester and McMinnville and Sparta. A great way to send goods all over the country from this part of Tennessee. Hardwood was one of the great commodities and products of the Middle Tennessee area, and thousands and thousands of board feet of hardwood were shipped out of here. Also, one of the great products and activities agriculture-wise was the tobacco industry. They had a tobacco war in Springfield and Robertson County around the turn of the century, and they moved, some of the tobacco growers moved to Tullahoma because the soil here was much like that in Robertson County, and acres of fine, dark-fired tobacco was raised here, and they shipped their tobacco in 550-pound rolls called hogsheads, and the freight depot was just full of that, and they sent carload after carload of fine tobacco out of this area. And some people might not know that in Deckard, Tennessee, they shipped tons and tons of sweet potatoes by rail to the seaports to ship by ship to Europe and South America, and Deckard, Tennessee was known as the sweet potato capital of the world, and it too was shipped by railroad. The photograph that I show here on the screen is the second depot. The first depot was burned, and this one was built in the 100 block of North Atlantic Street. If you can see it, there's a hotel right behind it. It was the Park Hotel. It burned later, but the freight depot and the passenger depot were in the 100 block of North Atlantic Street, and meant a whole lot to Tullahoma because there were 16 passenger car trains that came through Tullahoma until 1968, and you could get anywhere you wanted to, from Tullahoma to Chicago to Florida. And they had 3 or 4 streamline trains, the Georgian and the Flagler and the South Wind, that you could, and the Dixie Flyer, you could get on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and be in Chicago the next morning at 7 o'clock, and it was wonderful, the freight and the schedules that they made. Very important parts of the commerce of Tullahoma and Tennessee. A great part, and it's amazing to me that they have not changed the routes. They must have had good surveyors on the railroads, because those tracks are still right there just like they were 150 years ago. And it meant a whole lot to Tennessee and this area to have such good railroad facilities. The freight depot was moved in 1921 2 blocks south, because when the freight train stopped to load and unload, they blocked Grundy Street and Lincoln Street for motorized traffic. Freight became so motorized and carried in trailers and trucks so much that they discontinued some of the local freight business by railroad, and the freight depot on South Atlantic Street was raised in 1968. And the present building, or depot as it is now in the 300 block of North Atlantic Street, was moved in 1941 when Camp Forrest was first established here, because of the massive troops and people that went by passenger train all over the country. And it was great. And again, much of Tullahoma's history is related to railroading. Thank you very much, and we see you next week on A Moment for the Millennium. Thank you very much.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2.
3, 2, 1.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
So when we start talking about COVID, I completely get it. It's frustrating.
We've all been impacted one way or another.
The fight against COVID is also changing really quickly.
And it's sometimes really hard to keep up.
So here are a few things we know.
We are not fighting the same virus from 2020.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before, it's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID vaccines are safe.
Much safer than getting COVID-19.
We all want this to end sooner than later.
So go ahead and do things.
Go out and live your life, but get vaccinated. Stay boosted.
We can all do our part.
And get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
into the hall.
Oh,
Hey,
we're
we're
back.
back. We're talking about playing music. Can you imagine that? Two music people talking
all
about
we know.
playing music.
That's all I know.
Know that we're going to have a good week out there for all of you folks. It's coming up on June. The kids are out of school. If you're traveling and having vacation time, please be safe. Bring yourself back here. We don't want to lose you.
And remember the gala at South Jackson Civic
South
Center
Jackson
Saturday
Civic
night.
Center. And then the following Tuesday for $5 is International Dance.
Right. It's a wonderful opportunity. I hope people will come.
And this Sunday and Monday are the
auditions.
tryouts for the
South
44th
Jackson.
Annual Country Show.
I know. So
hey,
bring a guitar.
rocking
sing a
and
song.
rolling, folks, here in Tullahoma,
Yeah.
Tennessee. You be safe out there. Thanks for watching what we do. Tell your friends. We'll try to entertain you and give you a little bit of knowledge about things that you probably need to know, and maybe not.
And God bless America.
God bless America. We love you. See you next time.